Oh, well, hello, my wonderful, beautiful broskies of the wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. I am the OG, the Dark, the Shadow, the Maverick. And this, my friends, is the 1K view video. It's kind of a special, but kind of not. Basically, this special is dedicated to, well, the fact that a very old what if on my channel, quite lengthy one considering my what ifs that I have finished. This one being the what if Izuku was the reincarnation of Ulquiorra, or Ulquiorra's reincarnation, or whatever. Basically got over 1,000 views, I just now recently realized. The last time I checked, 1,028 views. So yeah, that's 1K plus views. Like my first ever video on this channel to get not just 1K, but over 1K views. And I want to celebrate that. What better way to celebrate that than by doing the opposite of the Ulquiorra incarnation what if. Well, at least the person who is going to be, like Ulquiorra is going to reincarnate, be Ulquiorra's reincarnation. And, well, originally I did Izuku. Now I think I might have a little bit more of a challenging task on my hands with this, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because hell with logic, who needs logic? Reasoning, whatever. Bleh. What if Naruto was Ulquiorra's reincarnation? Yes, Naruto now. Naruto this time. Now, where exactly would we start with this what if? Well, we shall start basically during the Nine-Tails attack. Naruto has been born. However, what Minato does indeed realize is that, unlike his eyes, or Kushina's eyes, Naruto's eyes are green and slightly cat-like. And from time to time, he does notice that it will appear and then disappear, like reappear and then disappear again. Like from time to time, whenever Minato would look at Naruto, almost like green teardrop marks. Sometimes they'd be there, sometimes they wouldn't. However, there wouldn't be much time to think, as, well, everything with Minato fighting the Masked Man, doing that whole thing, and then having to deal with the Nine-Tails. So, yeah. Well, Minato decides that, he is going to seal one half of the Nine-Tails inside of Naruto. Then he realizes he doesn't think that the Reaper will let his dead spirit keep the Nine-Tails with him. Like, even though the juice is being done to seal the Nine-Tails, he doesn't know if the Shinigami will allow him and the Nine Tails, his other half, to be, you know, still, like, stuck together after basically he's been consumed into the belly of the Reaper, along with the other half of the Nine Tails. So basically what he does is he sacrifices himself with the full amount of his chakra, putting all of his faith in Naruto, hoping for the best outcome that you could possibly think of. He legit, like, puts all of that Nine Tails in there. Puts all of that Nine Tails in there. And, you know, since, like, Kurama and Minato are trying to, like, you know, kind of chained in this, and so is Kushina, because she's right there, so, like, Minato and Kushina will eventually see Naruto again, but for now, Naruto is just gonna have live life, you know, thinking that he has no parents. Well, yeah. Or at least that's what you would think. Basically, what Minato says, like the last thing that he says, and Kushina says that as well. His name is Naruto. They say that to Hiruzen, you know, the third Hokage. So, yes. Hiruzen would just be like, this child is awkward looking. Like, just like the green, like cat-like eyes, and then like little tear strokes that sometimes will appear and sometimes disappear. Like sometimes they'll be there, sometimes they won't be there. What's going on right now is that all is not well inside of Naruto. And by that I mean Ulquiorra basically waking up to find that the black abyss that he thought he was going to end up in whenever he died, you know, from Ichigo's attack, turns out he basically just got sucked into another dimension. Like, the last of his essence. And, you know, he just got, like, restructured together. But he was already, like, becoming a part of one being, so he kind of just had to deal with being inside this, whoever he was inside of. And it didn't make anything any better that he had a very noisy, like, roommate. Kurama, the Nine-Tailed Fox. Like, all of the Nine-Tails. And it's safe to say that it's because of Ulquiorra is why Naruto was able to conceal all of the Nine-Tails inside of him. Ulquiorra would just be like, it really wasn't of his doing, you know. It was kind of just his power used without his consent. In order to, like, keep this thing in here. So, yeah. There's already been a very well-affirmed bond in between Naruto and Ulquiorra. And Kurama is just, you know, being pouty as always, angsty motherfudger. However, Ulquiorra is about to show Kurama just how good he is at out-angsting other angsty people. Even angsty Bijus. He can out-angst them all. Basically, Naruto would have given in to the hate at a very early age and would not be a very happy kid. That is, unless he was eating ramen. He liked ramen. You know, because it was To him, it was like a food of love, like a food that represented a feeling of love inside of his heart. And Ulquiorra, now knowing what the heart is, because of everything that happened with Ichigo or Hime, Ida, whoever else was there, now knowing what the heart is, and Ulquiorra's like, so you say this ramen is a food of the heart. Boy, you are very interesting. And Kurama's like, try to get into his taste buds. Try to taste what he tastes. Maybe you'll get it. Yeah, all Ukiyo's really been doing is seeing through Naruto's eyes and hearing through Naruto's ears. You know, like, just looking and listening. Not doing really much else. Unless, he has to out-angst Kurama because Kurama's having a shit fit. And he doesn't like it whenever Kurama's loud. Ukiyo really doesn't like it whenever Kurama's loud. So, you just out-angst him. It's almost like Conqueror's hockey. It's like, instead of willpower, it's the power of angst. And he out-angsts Kurama every time. And, Ukiyo will be like, okay, fine. Taste. What doesn't say sure? And Kurama would be like, nice, isn't it? And Ukiyo's like, what in God's name is this? Like, what in Lord Aizen's name is this? Like, Kurama is like a Biju, like a god tier level monster being. So he would know a thing or two about Sosuke Aizen. Let's just say that Kurama has his ways of knowing about Sosuke Aizen and the shit he tried to pull. And, well, Kurama's like, sorry to say, buddy, but, Aizen lost. You guys totally got screwed over. You're stuck in Muken now, living out a life sentence. And, Ukiyo hearing that, like, Muken? No, you gotta be screwing with me, Fox. That's literally what he calls, like, he just says Fox. Like, you gotta be screwing with me, Fox. And I won't let you do that, Star Fox. I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Star Fox. Oh boy. Well, basically, all throughout Naruto's life, as, things happen, Ulquiorra becoming more, not just eyes and ears, but, also, like, a mouth, like, he is able to taste what Naruto tastes. He's growing to become a little bit more accustomed to the body of Naruto Uzumaki. And, well, Ulquiorra knows everything that the village has been keeping from Naruto. He knows about all of that, but he doesn't know when will be the right time to tell Naruto. Because he wants to tell Naruto because he feels like this is not right. This is not the right thing to do to a child. Like, he doesn't even know who his parents are. He doesn't even, know. Basically, not only would he be the eyes, and ears, and mouth, but he would also be like a sense of, smell and touch as well, like the five senses. Ulquiorra would finally freely come into view whenever Naruto, you know, he finally released all of the barriers of like Naruto's senses so that he could become them all and, freely be linked with the dude on a more personal level. And it's about the time that, well, basically, Naruto would be just sad, swinging on swing sets, and Ulquiorra would want to know, but he wasn't sure if he should talk quite yet. So he tries to run a sensation of Reiatsu through Naruto's body. And whenever Naruto feels a sensation, it feels like everything in the world has just become new to him. Because, shit, freaking bug. Basically, what was said about Ulquiorra's Reiatsu in like the Ichigo versus Ulquiorra fight, basically Ulquiorra's Reiatsu and his Segundo Etapa is so powerful that they couldn't even recognize it as an actual Reiatsu. It couldn't even be recognized as an actual Reiatsu. That's how powerful it was. And so this sensation that would just be flowing through Naruto, he'd be like, what is this? And he would just hear, this is us. There you are. And that crunch solidifies it. That bug is deadified. So, yeah, basically, Ulquiorra would be like, that sensation is us. And all of a sudden, a sword would appear right in front of Naruto, and it would be Murcielago, Ulquiorra's Zanpakuto. This would basically be like a semblance of, Ulquiorra being like, this is our bond. With this sword, our bond is made clear. Also, you have another certain individual. Yeah, you want to know why everyone's calling you a monster? Oh, well, my manners. Name's Ulquiorra Cipher. However, I'm not the reason. The reason was sealed inside of you by your father, the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. If you don't believe me, then I'll send another sensation through you, which will show you the actual point in time in which it happened. And he just like, and Naruto just gets a sensation. It was like, and Naruto's just like, holy, wait, I'm the son of the fourth Hokage? How come I was never told about this? And Ulquiorra's like, I think Mr. Fourth Hokage said something about not wanting you to have a big head. Get a big head just because you're the son of the fourth Hokage. The Hidden Leaf's Yellow Flash. The guy who, like, if, like, you see him, like, run on sight, like, back in the days of the war, like, he was that deadly. And Naruto's like, yeah, I've heard the stories, but, just... And not only that, but in order to protect the village, he sealed Nine-Tailed Fox inside of me. And Ulquiorra was like, yeah, originally he was only going to seal half, but, he kind of got a little bit of a something like an intuition that, maybe, mm, the Reaper wasn't exactly going to let him keep his hold on Kurama whenever they were all digested into the Reaper's belly. So instead of just giving you one half, he, against his better judgment, decided to give you the whole damn thing. However, I say against his better judgment, however, that is if you were a normal kid even back then. Oh no. With me as a part of you, with us bonded like this, you do realize how you have those eyes and the teardrop like appearances on your face. The color of your eyes and even their shape. Very, what did he say, cat-like in appearance? And, well, Ulquiorra kind of knew what he really wanted to say, but more or less like soul-stealing eyes. Ulquiorra doesn't really care about anything Miento would have to say to insult him, because like he literally does not care. So Naruto just like, so now what? And Ulquiorra's like, now what? Naruto, you should know better than to ask such stupid questions. Now, you claim, no, we claim what is rightfully yours. After all, if I'm pitching in on this, I should get some of the profits too, don't you think? I mean, that's only fair. And Naruto's like, wait, that's right, the Namikaze compound. That's mine! And he's just like, holy shit, yeah, the Namikaze compound, that shit is mine. So I don't have to live in this shitty ass apartment anymore. I can freaking live in the freaking Namikaze compound. And Ogura's like, yes. Plus, with me and Furball over there, keeping you company, you'll never really be alone. You never were alone. And Naruto's like, yeah, but the way they look at me, things that they say that they don't think I can hear them, or even if they do, they probably don't care. Just kidding, they definitely don't care. Who am I trying to kid? They definitely don't care about how I feel. They all hate me, and it's because of freaking, like you call them, Furball. And, Kurama just goes on his rant like, don't you make it look like I wanted to be sealed in here. And besides, I was genjutsu'd. If I had my own way, I would have completely stayed out of your village's business, entirely. However, your mother was my jailer at the time. So, yeah. I didn't even have like a few seconds of free will before I was genjutsu'd into attacking the village after your mother gave birth to you. And I was just like, listen, we all kind of gotta work on this together. So, why don't we just put our little rivalries aside and, you know, actually get to doing something, worth it for once? And Ulquiorra's like, I really don't know what you're talking about. Furball over there, this is too stingy to give you any of his chakra. So, how about you make use of some Ryatsu instead? That's how I was able to give you those sensations. Now, with another one, now you see me, and now you don't. Basically, Naruto getting actually to see Ulquiorra inside of his mind. Naruto, in the real world is actually just spaced out on the swing sets. He's just all spaced out. So basically, it would be like oddly something weird is that Ulquiorra would think is no one seems to really be out to bully him today. And Naruto's like, well, that's just because they're waiting for my birthday. They're probably just loading up, getting any weapons that they can find, get their paws on, beat me up with. And Ulquiorra's like, I absolutely not. I will not stand for that. And then you can just like feel and hear vibrating from Marhialago. And, Naruto's like, okay, then what exactly do you suppose we do about it? Just talking to his sword because that's kind of a signification of Ulquiorra and his bond. Or else he wouldn't even have Marhialago in his possession right now. Well, Ulquiorra is just like, if anyone tries to come at you, please, allow me to give some ideas. And, Furball, if you actually want to participate for once, maybe even you get, some revenge on these villagers. After all, they are part of the reason why you're sealed up here. And, well, Ron will be like, good point. You make a very good point. And so, yeah, basically Naruto would have 2 bodyguards. And, Ulquiorra wouldn't just be a bodyguard. He would be like a good coach for Naruto. Because Naruto would be able to learn all this cool stuff. However, there'd be certain things which Ulquiorra would reserve for, as he would say, a later time, my friend. A later time. And, well, Naruto really not knowing what a later time means would kind of just get flabbergasted and, like, frustrated over the whole thing. And then Kurama would just tell Naruto to shut the hell up. Yeah, the guy's being loud. And Ulquiorra would just be like, not compared to you, furball. And Kurama would be like, damn it, he has a point. I am louder than most, but it's only because a lot of you piss me off. Quite frankly, you're all disgusting. And Ulquiorra's just like, oh, bother. Well, there would even be sometimes whenever Ulquiorra would basically be like, hey, that girl over there. Didn't you save her once? Well, technically we did, but we didn't really do all that much. We just kind of flexed our Reiatsu, and they literally, like, the bullies went, screaming and running away like cowards. I guess our Reiatsu was just that awesome. And by now, Naruto knows the core principles of Reiatsu and everything. And even knows, like, the core principles and how everything works with Zanpakuto. And so, yeah, that's a thing. And so, Naruto would always have Murhielago on him, you know, just in case. Not just that, but because, well, it signified their bond, so why not keep it with him wherever he goes? Naruto just has that warm personality towards his new friend. Well, not so new, but he didn't know about him until just recently. Well, Naruto would indeed mention, like, about Hinata. What the? Dad, why do you do that?
It's one of those things that I got, like ESPN. I know when Michael's doing this, and I just have to come in here and mess you up, give you your meds,
Whatever. Anyways, I don't know yet. Finally shut the door completely this time. Anyways, ESPN. Whatever. Hey, losers. Anyways, Naruto does indeed talk to Ulquiorra about Hinata and about that whole thing about the guard not wanting Hinata to be around Naruto. And they both know why. It's the whole Nine-Tailed Fox thing. But really, Naruto could give a shit less. At this point, he's become more like Ulquiorra, to where he's just, like, indifferent to the insults. Over time, he just grew this freaking ironclad wall around him, like ironclad walls all around him. That protect him from, like, giving a shit about any of their damn opinions about him. Unless they had something nice to say, they don't need to really say anything. And Naruto's mind, like, unless you have anything nice to say, I don't want to hear it. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, I don't want to hear it. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Because, he's finally, like, tired of, like, just getting treated like shit. So, he just allowed Ulquiorra to help him in the way of kind of, putting up blockades against, like, letting their words hurt him. Now, he kind of had that presence about him that Ulquiorra always had. Like, it was very, very powerful, a very powerful presence. And, well, it stood out a lot. Naruto knew that it stood out a lot because that's how he wanted it to be. This presence that he was going to have. He wanted to be able to stand out a lot. He wanted to let people know that he wasn't going to take the shit anymore. So Naruto just ended up giving in to the hate. And, basically... shit. Sorry, guys. Shit. Ah, freaking bug. Well, basically, I get what I was even talking about. And if you guys are wondering if there's any changes to, like, his, like, what he wears, basically everything is now in Ankara colors. Yeah. And plus, seeing as Ulquiorra had, I'm not gonna have him strap it to his back. Ulquiorra had Murcielago strapped to his freaking side. I'm gonna have Naruto strap it to his side. You know, be a total G like freaking Ulquiorra. Like the ultimate Chad as hell G. So, yeah, like, just picture Naruto, like part 1 Naruto, but like, the color in all of his clothes are like Ankara colors. So, like, a lot of white and some black. And he would have something strapped to his side, which would be not only like his kunai holster, and, well, the pouch would be more or less be to Naruto's back, so it wouldn't just be the kunai holster. We'll say, like, there's one side that has the kunai holster, and the pouch is in the back, and the other side, Naruto, strapped to that side, is Murcielago. And, Naruto would just be walking in with all his black and white color, and he would let the teardrops show. He would let them show because he would have fully embraced it by that point. He would have fully, gotten into the hate. But just because of that doesn't mean he can't, be a wisecracker. You know, be his goofy self, but also have that presence about him that Ulquiorra has because of his whole give the hate attitude. So, yeah, basically, Murcielago would be strapped to his other side, and, well, like, a lot of people would be like, when did Naruto start, training with swords? And Ukyo would actually think that was kind of funny, because, these people are so damn clueless on what they're actually getting themselves into by being, with Naruto now that he is fully given into that hate, and allowed Ulquiorra to just cruise control. Because now Naruto's not going to take anybody's shit. It's not like he has been, but he's definitely not going to take anybody's shit now. Like, one wrong move, yo ass is dead. Like, if you apologize in time, he might let you off easy, but that's only a might. And you're gonna need all the might in order to even stand a chance. Like an all might. Well, basically, Sakura and, would be doing the usual fighting over who gets to sit next to Sasuke. And Naruto would just look at them and be like, hey, Sakura, hey, look who I'm sitting next to. Sasuke. Just to be a dick. Just like spelling it out for them like they're stupid. And Sakura would just run over there, and about to punch Naruto straight in the face, whenever all of a sudden she feels something come over her. And all of a sudden Naruto just smack! Just sends her flying into a wall. Like, just, like, freaking chops her, and then she, like, just sent flying all the way into a wall. Yeah, Naruto was not having it. And Ino was like, oh, shit. So that's what they meant whenever they said he wasn't taking it anymore. Like, our shit, like the shit from the village. And Naruto would just be like, yeah, what you gonna do about it? And I was like, what? I was whispering. How did you hear me? And, well, then Naruto would just appear behind Ino and scare her. And then she realized Naruto was both behind her and in front of her. And in several other different places all at once. This wasn't any clone jutsu. This was actually Naruto moving so fast that he was appearing multiple places at once. Just to show off. Sasuke's like, I'm not even that fast. And basically the whole thing would go as, it goes. However, minus Naruto taking any BS from the villagers. If they want to start a raid on his birthday, try to kick his ass on his birthday, they can answer to both him and Ulquiorra. Oh, and in what way, you may ask? Simple. Cereblast. Yes. One of the first truly special powers that of a holo is the ability to actually fire off a Cero. And well, Naruto has been doing some training, which is why some people have found it kind of hard to sleep at night, because Naruto decides to do his Cero training during the night, because not only does he not give a shit what the villagers say, but he wants to spite some of them, because some of them said really hurtful things in the past, and it really hurt. So he just has certain villagers that he really, really wants to make their lives a living hell. And, well, basically, all of a sudden, while Naruto is doing some of his Cero training, Hinata just goes up to him and is like, Naruto, I wish you good luck in the exam. I hope we both become Genin together. And Naruto's just like, oh boy. And Ulquiorra's just like, basically it would be like, Ulquiorra would be getting that feeling that he got whenever he was trying to study Orihime. This girl gives him a lot of Orihime vibes for some reason. Is this going to be a different alternative? Will this alternative be the usual, ending of a good story? The guy gets the girl and they ride off into the sunset. And Ulquiorra's like, he doesn't know how much of that is true, but he's hoping for both him and Naruto's sake that they're able to get the girl, if you know what I mean, and kiss the girl like Sebastian. And, Hinata is just super uber blushing, but that's because Naruto was flexing his Ryatsu without even noticing. And he didn't even notice until Ulquiorra yelled at him, Naruto! You're freaking making her blush, flexing the Ryatsu. And like Naruto's you want me to flex something else, Hinata? And Hinata's huh? And he just whips out Murnilago, and Hinata's just woo, shiny. Naruto pulls it back, and very sharp. You probably shouldn't touch Murnilago, Hinata. Might not respond well to, newcomers. To its presence. Technically, there is a certain someone who our bond, that is what Murnilago is, a representation of our bond. This person being Ulquiorra Cypher. He's kind of in my head, along with a certain furball who can be really annoying at times and make it really hard to make friends whenever everyone in the village hates you for, a reason which involves said furball. And yes, before you say anything, Kurama, I know it was Genjutsu, but whatever. Oh wait, shit, I said, son of a... Okay, Hinata, can you keep several secrets? Several secrets? And Hinata's anything for you, Naruto? And Naruto's just okay. And Naruto will just tell Hinata what he knows. And Hinata would be that the people could indeed come after you for your power. I know that you clan are they're very power obsessed, over obsessed people. My own clan, over obsessed with power. Yes, they might actually be one of the ones that would want to come after you for your power. And, well, Naruto would just be well then, gotcha now. Where are you, you little bugger? Never mind. Basically, after sharing all that knowledge, and Naruto finally figuring out that Hinata does indeed care about him, and basically Naruto showing that he cares about Hinata, whenever Hinata already kind of knew about that because, kind of saved her from bullies, just by flexing his power. Then Hinata would be worried, if Naruto was going to fail the exam, because he wouldn't be able to do any of the traditional jutsu, because he has the Ryatsu instead of any chakra, and well, it's not just whether the Nine Tails is going to share its chakra. So, as pointed out by Naruto during their little talk. However, yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to brutalize this freaking bug. And now, I must clean off my flute. Hmm. Well, only to be surprised by Naruto's proficiency, in special power. Ruka could tell this definitely was not chakra. So what was it? Naruto would basically come up with a clever excuse. It's a special Keka Genkai that I just now figured out I am the first one to actually have access to. The first one of my kind, as you could say. You could indeed say that. The first one to ever unlock the power of the Espada. It allows me to do many things, including use a certain type of energy known as Ryatsu, like how all of you normies use chakra. And Sasuke would be like, Normie? He'd just be like, Naruto? Basically, Iruka would stop the entire thing. Ulquiorra would basically told Naruto that Mizuki does not look very trustworthy, so don't trust anything that he says. And sure enough, Naruto does try to, basically, Mizuki does try to trick Naruto, but, joke's on him. Anything that, Mizuki could possibly give him, he doesn't really want. Because he has all he really wants right now. Like, for the time being, he considers himself pretty good. Pretty GG. And so, well, seeing as Mizuki tried to lie to him, Naruto decides, he's trying to decide what would be the perfect punishment for trying to lie to me. And basically, he would just hear, let it go. And all of a sudden, Naruto would grow a tail. Not like the usual tail beast tail, but it would like grow a Segunda atop a tail. And he would also grow wings. But the wings and the tail would be the only things that would really show up. Naruto would be like, yeah, this is nice. And Ulquiorra would be like, Latigo is basically everything that has to do with my tail. The wings are just an added bonus that I decided to throw in. And Naruto would be like, dude, you are awesome. So, with Latigo, your blood shall splatter. That's when we'll just coil around him, and then just like it will just spearhead straight into Mizuki's chest cavity. And, well, then last thing would be a little sign off for the Cereblast. Whenever it shoots off, Naruto would first decide to unravel his tail from Mizuki's body, and Sarah would shoot out, vaporizing Mizuki completely. He realized that whenever he fired that specific Sarah, his power, multiplied by an order of magnitude, also known as times 10. Yes, Ulquiorra would call it Cero Oscuros. And so, yeah. Basically, Naruto is learning all sorts of new abilities, and Naruto even eventually learns how to retract the wings and tail by himself and bring them back whenever he wants. Right now, he can only legally control his wings and tail. Ulquiorra is wondering whether he should really give him, more of, the, resurrection transformations power. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to handle it or not. And, well, basically, I guess you could just say that, the next day, after everything, he's off. Next day would be whenever it would be time for everyone to be assigned to their team, and know who their joining sensei is, and what squad they'll be on. Basically, Team 7 is going to be different than Canon Team 7. Because Naruto will be there, and so will Sasuke, but instead of Sakura, after realizing what Naruto did to Sakura whenever she was about to punch him, Hiruka's like, yeah, no, ain't letting that happen. Sakura legit could die if she pisses him off. Yeah. Naruto has been changing his tune and is very, very hostile to anyone who rubs him the wrong way. It's just Naruto giving into the hate and becoming colder to the world. Realizing what Ulquiorra realizes, but also never losing the ideals of the heart and what it means to have a heart. Something that took Ulquiorra so long to actually learn that he wants to make sure that Naruto never forgets what it means to have a heart. As Ulquiorra will point to his palm, a heart is in here. And Naruto would just be like, heart is in here. They would just basically make the same sign at the same time. And, well, basically what would happen is Ulquiorra would basically just be like, and just be like, and all of a sudden you would see a seal pop up, and Naruto would be wondering, what's that seal for? And Ulquiorra would be like, our memories of the heart. A small portion of a memory of the heart is what we will have left. So that whenever we begin to lose our grasp upon the true idea of the heart, what the heart truly is, these seals will activate and the heart will be truly restored back to us in full swing. I'm not sure how you'll deal with the shock, but let's just hope we never have to get to that point. So basically, what happened is, basically, like the Grinch, how his heart grew 3 sizes, or 2 sizes, or however many sizes. Well, like, if you did that in reverse, that's basically like taking away a lot of the heart and like sealing it in 2 different seals. These would basically, Ulquiorra would call them their heart seals. And they will only activate whenever they begin to truly lose sight of the heart. You know, as like an emergency thing to bring them back to their senses. Because Ulquiorra never wants to lose that feeling. Well, never wants to lose that sensation again. He doesn't want to lose Naruto. Because he's made very good friends with Naruto. And even knows about the fact that Naruto made friends in Choji and Shikamaru. And with Ulquiorra's intelligence, Naruto is easily able to tie several times, and even a couple times beat Shikamaru in a game of Shogi. And, you know, Shikamaru and Shikamaru's father, and even Shikamaru's mother, would be baffled the hell out of it. Like, holy shit. Like, what? Where the hell did this come from? And Naruto would just be like, I guess whenever I just felt like being a badass. Anyways, you're still a lot smarter than me, Shikamaru. You're a genius in my eyes. Shikamaru's like, thanks, but this whole ninja shinobi thing is still a drag. And Naruto would just be like, you know, if you stop acting like such a lazy ass, I may want to play a couple more rounds of Shogi with you. But only if you start, you know, cleaning your act up. And Shikamaru's like, what about Shoji? And Naruto's like, oh god, sometimes I wonder if he'll ever change. Always gotta keep those ideals of the heart, though. The idea, the concept, the rudimentary factor. It's here. The last bit of our hearts that we have left. And Ulquiorra would be like, yes, it is in here. Basically, pointing to the palm. And that's where, like, there would be, like, a tiny little heart fragment. Like, and then there would be another tiny little heart fragment. And the two would conjoin, showing the union of Naruto and Ulquiorra. Basically, after all that whole ordeal, basically it would be Naruto, Sasuke, and Ino as Team 7. And Kakashi would still be their Jonin Sensei. And, well, Ino seemed to handle Naruto's, you know, almost adamantium rage like state, like cold death stare that he had whenever he smacked Sakura into a wall. So, Ino, why not? This would mean that Team 10 would have Sakura as a part of Team 10. So Shikamaru and Choji would have to deal with Sakura. Oh god. Naruto would feel bad leaving his two friends with Sakura. Especially now that Sakura knows that she's not in a team with Sasuke. But Ino is. But Ino doesn't really seem to gloat all that much. Being just like, we should focus more on being shinobi. The whole fawning over boys thing is for little kids. That's what you taught me whenever I saw you do that to Sakura, Naruto. You showed me how truly strong I could become if I just got over my fascination with Sasuke. And now, and she just wills some chakra control into her hand and punches down, and like, boom, like creates a crater, like 3 feet deep. And that's just my ordinary, taijutsu, enhanced with chakra control. Sakura had good chakra control, so why not have Ino, have good chakra control? To the point to where she can actually utilize it to be an actual threat, without just having to rely on her mind transfer jutsu all the time. Yeah, that would be another little, lesson, like a piece of advice Naruto would have. Try not to rely on your mind transformation, mind whatever, jutsu all the time. It leaves you open, and in the case that whatever person or persons you may be going up against aren't afraid to actually inflict pain on themselves or inflict pain on other members of their team, you would be in very bad straits. So far, what I've realized is that you always have to have someone to get you out of the jutsu. Someone to wake you back up. And thus release your spirit from your opponent's body back into yours. And it would just be like, yeah, I've been working on that too. I actually have a little bit of something I've been thinking about. Well, would just hand out 3 different papers. And, well, Sasuke would, want to be all smart alecky and say to Naruto, stupid freaking Naruto, those are chakra paper, like pieces of chakra paper, to tell what someone's element is. But Naruto would completely, blatantly just disregard him and just continue talking with mentioning that he already knew that. Yeah, Naruto's a lot smarter than the original. He is a lot smarter. And so the first person to go would be Sasuke, wanting to redeem himself out from, the clutches of embarrassment. Just being like what he considers being talked down to. And basically making Sasuke like Bakugo. My Hero Academia. Oh god, that is going to... Wow. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. Anyways, basically Sasuke would have a go at it, and he would eventually, you know, he would have already known what his element is. Fire. And, well, Ino would decide that since they're both boys, they can go one after another, and she'll go last. After all, it's mostly said ladies first, but Ino wants to break some conventions, and so she, instead of going first, is gonna go last. And Naruto's like, sure, fine, whatever. Okay. Ah. And all of a sudden, it will basically come up. His chakra nature would be wind. Just like his father's chakra nature. And Ino would be like, okay, now it's my turn. Sasuke got fire. Naruto got wind. What am I going to get? And seeing as Sasuke gets lightning later on top of the fact that he already had fire, oh well, oh boy. I'm thinking. I think I got something. As basically the paper would turn soggy. Like mush in, his hands. She would just throw it away like just with the rest of the scraps. And telling everyone that she apparently has the chakra nature of water. Why did I make Ino's chakra nature water and not like earth or lightning? First of all, Sasuke gets lightning in the future. And second of all, to me, earth is just a really bland chakra nature. Whenever you start coming up with like the freaking nature releases, like that type of shit, like that type of Keka Genkai shit, once you get into that, you know, the stuff like you can like fuse another release with Earth release, that is whenever I get interested. But Earth release normally, nah, not happening. And so I decided, plus water can flow very elegantly like a very pretty lady, but it can also be very wrathful and flow in all directions. Just like whenever a lady is angered. True anger of a woman. So in a way, water style kind of represents everything to do with Ino, because Ino, just like Sakura, has a fiery temper, but can also be very soft and kind. The one big difference here, however, well, not only does Ino know her chakra nature, and Sakura doesn't know her chakra nature, but, well, Ino has chakra control, like controlling her fists and legs, and, well, she's just overall better off than her canon counterpart. Plus just Sakura in general, just better off than her in general. So basically, whenever Kakashi would finally get there, they'd be like, "You're late," and Kakashi would say something about being lost on the path of life, or like a black cat walking across his path, or some shit, dumb shit like that. When really he was just checking out the monument stone thing. And so, unlike Team 7 in the original, this is Naruto, Sasuke, and Ino in this. And plus, Naruto is very different. We'll get all into the introductory stuff with Team 7 and things after that later because it is literally 1 hour, 16 minutes, and counting. So, basically, Alan's the analysis. Dark Shadow Maverick is LUT out of here. Ya boys. Bye. Like, favorite, subscribe. Click that little bell. And some in the comment section. And I'm gonna bounce like it's Quidditch. Quidditch. Quidditch.